So I recently added paystack subscription to a project that I'm working on, and I wanted to do a video to show you how you can do the same on your own application. And just for context, the tech stack I'm using is Next.js, Convex for my backend, paystack for payment obviously, and Recent for emails. But regardless the tech stack you use, you can apply the same process and it's going to work. And also let me know in the comments if you see me doing anything wrongly. Alright, so the way a subscription system works is that it basically has three blocks or three building blocks. So the first one is the plan, the second one is the subscription itself, and the last step is the webhook event. So basically the plan defines what users pay for. The subscription connects a specific user to that plan. Then the webhook lets your application react to things like billing updates, like success or failure. So let me quickly show you how this works. So if I click on the upgrade to premium, by the way, you can do yearly or monthly. So if I click upgrade to premium, this is going to direct me to a paystack checkout. And what is happening under the hood is that you can see that the user email is here. So if I go back to my application, I'm currently on my payment page, and this handle subscribe function is what is being called. So I'm checking if the user has an email. So if the email is not found, it's just going to stop. It's not going to run all this at all. Then if that is successful, there's also a target plan. I'm going to show you this in a minute. So what happened was that when we clicked on that button, we basically initiated a subscription. So we've not made the subscription yet, we just initiated it, and we collected the user email, which is this email you're seeing right here, the plan ID, then the plan code. So this plan code is essential so that you can keep track of the plan a user is trying to subscribe to, then the amount and the interval. And if everything is successful, that's basically just this window that is popping up right here. So if I go to back to the dashboard, before I click on success, I'm just going to show you how you can create a plan on paystack. And also I will leave a link to their documentation as well, because this is what I went through in order to get that up and running. So I can go back to my paystack dashboard and just go to recurring and go to plans. Then I created the two plans you're seeing right now, but if you want to create a plan, just click on the new plan button and enter the name of the plan, the description, the amount, and the interval. So once you've entered it and click on create, it's going to give you, let me click on this one, it's going to give you a plan code. So this plan code is what you copy, and if I go back, and I think I have it here, so you just paste it right here, and also set the name. So the name should match the same name you use right here, the price and the interval as well. All right, so if I now click on, oh, before I do that, and also if I go back to my payment file and I go to this initiate subscription, so basically this is an endpoint. Okay, this is not directing me there. You know, I'll do instead, think I'll just come here. Okay, subscription, let me click on it here. So this is it. So this is an convex action, and what this does is that if all these details matches, so all these arguments that the user passing, if there's an email, there's a plan ID, there's a plan code, I'm basically checking if the user exists. So if that exists, we generate a reference, and I'll basically store this on a pending subscription record. So I'm thinking of even changing this, but I'm going to leave it. So if I go to my database and under subscription invoices, you can see the subscription the user is trying to pay for, but if I come to the status, you can see that it's pending. So if I decide to close this out, it's just going to stay like this. I'm even thinking of adding a cron job to just get rid of pending status that are above a particular time, but that's on the side note though. So I can go back now, and this is just calling this initialize endpoint, which basically allows us to create the subscription. So if I now select sources and click on pay now, so the payment has been successful, but it's not yet verified. So this is not going to call a webhook. So if I open my terminal and come to my backend, so some webhook was fired. For instance, you can see this subscription.create, then we have charge.sources. So this one was the one where we initialized the payments by clicking on the button, and this is when the money actually went through. So charge successful, and these are the details right here. So let me just scooch down. And also, if everything is successful, the user is going to get an email letting them know that okay, they subscribe. And also, so if I go back to my UI now and I scroll down, you can see that I'm already subscribed and I can subscribe again. So let me just close this terminal back, and I can go to back to my payment, and I have a endpoint to check. So I'm checking if there is an active subscription. So let me come down and check right here. So if the user has already subscribed, we'll just pass in this right here, already subscribed. So that user can't resubscribe again. So if I go back to my table, you will see that the status is now sources, and the subscriptions table now has that user that is being subscribed. So the way I did mine was that if the user just click on the link without subscribing, it's just going to stay on this subscription invoices table. But if everything went through, so if the payment was successful, then the data will be sent across to this subscriptions table with the current period. As you can see, this is the 17th of the 12th month, so 17th of December 2025, and it's going to end on the 16th of January 2026. And I also added some option where you can gift subscriptions, so just like a backdoor of letting people in without them going through the subscription route. And also the interval is passed across the name as well. So if it's yearly, this will be premium yearly. So let me just show you where all that is happening. So if I go to my subscription right here, so this function is the one to initiate the subscription. This is we want to create the pending subscription you saw, and this is the function to verify the subscription. And this basically take the existing invoice and just check the status. So if it's success, we just process it to true, and also run this update invoice status function as well, either if it's successful or if it's failed. So whenever a payment happens, either if it's successful or if it's failed, paystack sends an event to your webhook URL. So if I go to https, by the way, like I said, this is convex, so in convex is different, but if you're using Postgres, it's also different, but like I said, the process is the same. So you can see there's a part right here that has a method of post, and the name of this part is paystack subscription webhook. So what I'm doing right here is basically calling different endpoints, and these are done internally, so it's not exposed on the client. So it's done on convex itself, which is really nice because you can run internal functions in convex. So before I talk about the actual events that are coming, if I close this one out, this part is crucial. It's the verify paystack signature function. I'm actually using it right here, which is what you're seeing right here. So what this does is that the endpoint is kind of exposed to the public, so this particular endpoint. But in order for paystack to know that okay, this is the particular endpoint I need, and in order for people not to have access to it, you need to make sure that the signature matches. And the way to do that is by using this secret, your paystack secret key. So all these are just long process. In convex is different, but if you are using a express server, you just have to just use the default crypto package. So if you're using the crypto package, you won't go through all these step right here, because I'm just trying to do a custom version. So basically, if the paystack signature matches, and you need to verify it with the request that's coming in. So if it matches it, then it's going to go through different webhook events. So if I go to their docs, I think they have quite a few right here. Um so you can listen for a subscription that create, invoice that create, charge or success. It's quite minimal though. That's why I really like it compared to Stripe's own that's way much, and you don't even know the right ones to use. So you can also call if the invoice payment failed and all. So that's what I did right here. And also if I go to webhooks, TS, what I'm doing right here is basically just the function that you saw. So handle subscription created is just this internal mutation that is happening, that is just writing to my table. So should I use this one? Okay, so this one is a perfect example. So if everything is successful, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pass in all this value right here. So I'm just going to patch or insert all this value to my invoices, subscription invoices table, which is this one. And also extending the period, so which is this date you saw. Let me go back to the subscription invoices because it's also there as well. So period start and period end. Okay. And one more thing is that I'm also sending an email. So if everything is successful, the user is going to get an email. I don't want to show you that right now. And also if it fails, there's also an endpoint for that. So here's that. So basically that is this handle invoice update. So I'm still sending an email if the payment fails as well. And also I forgot to say that this has active subscription endpoint. So this one right here, you can use it as a check to open any feature you want that user to access. So for instance, now I think I'm using it on this create event page. So if I scooch to the top, so you can see I'm using it right here. So if the user does not have a pro subscription, let me click on it. It's still the same function it's calling. So if there's no pro subscription, it's just going to not do anything. It's just going to be there static. And I think I added a star. Let me scooch down. So I also added like a star icon so that the user can know that okay, this is a pro feature. So you can basically use this endpoint throughout your application for different features you want the user to access. And also if I go to this settings page, so basically this two does the same thing, but if you are not subscribed yet, this is going to just tell you to upgrade. But if you're subscribed, it's going to show this premium active right here. So let me just go to the premium active page. I think I have to give this a better name. All right, so if I go to payment, you can see the invoice history of the payment right here. And this invoice history is coming from this get user invoices endpoint or function. So I'm just querying to get the invoices of a particular user. So you can also still manage your card and subscription as well. So if I click on manage card, this is going to direct me to a paystack dashboard where I can replace my card and also check the current status of my subscription. And you can also cancel the subscription as well from this dashboard, but I'm not going to do it for you. So if I close this out, I can come to accounts and more. So the same thing, you see the status is active when you are to renew your subscription. And you can also add like a banner or a flag. So if that date is approaching, you can decide to just let the user know and also send an email, because once you have your plan set up and the user subscribe, paystack does the heavy lifting. So if it wants to renew itself, it's just going to renew automatically and just update my subscription invoices table and my subscriptions table. That's basically how it works. But you can decide to send a custom email by the period that subscription ends. So if I click on cancel subscription, it's going to tell me that you will keep access until the end of your billing. So let me go to my subscriptions table, and you can see this cancel that is currently on set. But if I click on cancel subscription right now, you can see that subscription canceled successfully and the status is cancelled. If I go back to the subscription table, you can now see the date that we cancelled the subscription. So basically, today is 17th of December 2025, and basically once the current period ends, the user is no longer going to have access to the feature, because remember, I know I'm showing you this over and over again, but I just need to show you. So this has active subscription. Let me open it. So what it does is that it's just querying through the subscriptions table and checking the status. So you can see that the status here is cancelled. So if the status is active, and also if the subscription.current period is greater than today's date or now, that's only the criteria for a user to have access to the pro features of your application. And also you do get emails, so let me quickly show you that. All right, so this is the different emails we were getting while I was doing the demo. So this welcome to premium is the one you get when you pay for your subscription. So this is one from the platform itself, and you also get from paystack as well. So so this one is from paystack, this one right here. Then if you cancel subscription, paystack is also going to send you a mail. Then you as the platform can decide to also send a mail as well. And you can reactivate subscription, but basically reactivating a subscription means paying again, and this will just basically direct you to the payment page. All right guys, so that's it for the video, but I just wanted to do a quick recap because I felt the video was kind of all over the place. But the three things you have to put in mind in order for you to create a subscription in any platform, so be it paystack or Stripe, is that you must have a plan, or rather you must create a plan, and you can do that via the API or directly on the dashboard, just like we did. So, and the next thing is to create a subscription. And for you to create a subscription, you go back to our code again, go to subscription, you just basically need to call the paystack endpoint. Again, you can go through this, you can still see all the endpoint they are calling right here. And lastly, you need to listen for subscription events. So this is the most crucial part. And this has to do with verifying the webhook authenticity before doing anything. And this is also the part that lets you send emails, because as you saw on our own on my own application rather, let me not go to emails. So HTTP. So you can see that we only called all these internal function when these webhook are met. So if we don't hit any of the webhook events, none of this endpoint is going to run. So just keep that at the back of your mind. Alright guys, hope you found the video helpful. Do wait to leave a like, subscribe and share the video. See you next time.